departure, train doors will be locked shut up to 40 seconds before departure. Thank you.
Some old platforms, it looks like they're filled in. Whether that was a buffer stop for something or part of the branch line to Chard. There's also a disused platform over this side. It's not very clear, but if you can just about make out where the line is beyond the steel beams, you can just about see the edge of the platform as a pad across. You've got the lines branching off that way to the side of the station. Hello guys, and welcome to this video today. We are here today at Taunton station. This is the town of Taunton in Somerset, of which it is the county town. Let's focus. That's it. Yep, Taunton station. This is a 6-platform station which has services to Penzance, Exeter, London, Plymouth, Cardiff, among other destinations. However, we aren't taking a look at the modern lines today here at Taunton. We're actually going to follow a former railway line that ran to Chard Junction via the towns of Ilminster and Chard. So we can see Taunton is still open. We've got Taunton Depot here as well by from Network Rail. Some advertisements for the area. Taunton likely been best known for being the place of its cricket ground, Taunton Cricket Ground, Taunton Minster, County Hall of Somerset, the County Town of Somerset, among other things. And busy interchange during the week for many lines to and from Somerset, Devon, Cornwall, Dorset, Bristol, among other destinations. So this was Taunton station. We'll now head on to the first station on the Chard line. So guys, we are here roughly at the site of Thorn Falcon station. This is the village of Thorn Falcon in Somerset. This was the first stop on the Taunton to Chard Junction line. As we can see, the road's now been taken up by the A358, which runs between Taunton, Ilminster and Chard. No trace of Thorn Falcon station remains. The station was roughly where that curve is, where the cars are going to the right. Nothing remains. The trackbed and station site have now been lost under the main road here on the A358 between Taunton and Ilminster. So if facing that way towards Ilminster along the former Taunton to Chard Junction line, and we face that way back towards Taunton. So this was Thorn Falcon station. We'll now head on to the next one. So down there guys, that is the site of Hatch station. This is the village of Hatch Beauchamp in Somerset and was the second stop on the Taunton to Chard line. As we can see, the station still survives, I think, as well as the goods shed. It's now in use for a commercial premises. Sterling Services Architectural Precast Specialists. The station building survives, as we can see. Like I said, it's, I think, just a goods shed. I'm just about to get a good angle of it. Yeah, just to... yeah, it does. yeah, there's the goods shed and there's the station. So we'll be facing that way towards Ilminster and Chard along the former line, and where the industrial unit is on the left is the trackbed back towards Taunton. Unlike the previous one at Thornton Falcon, Hatch still survives, in use for, like I say, for a business premises. So this was Hatch Station. We'll now head on to the next one. So guys, we are here roughly at the site of Ilton Holt Station. This is the village of Ilton in Somerset, and was the third stop on the Taunton to Chard line. As we can see, the site of the Holt is now long gone, heavily overgrown. Looking this way back towards Taunton along the old track bed, there is some fence posts like you can see there. The site of the Holt itself, platform and that, appears to be long gone. I'm not sure if the platform ever survived or if it was demolished, but it is heavily overgrown. This footpath is on the old track bed, which I guess you can walk all the way back to as far as Hatch. But unlike Hatch, just like Thornton Falcon, nothing remains from what I can see of the old Holt here, other than the track bed, which is still here, unlike Thornton Falcon, which is forming part of the A358. If you walk down here, you can see the path leading up. My guess is this would have been where the Holt would have roughly been, on this side. Just see if I can get it on camera. Don't think I can get it. Behind there's like a little bit of stone. It's hard to see because of the trees in the way. But there is some stone there. I'm not sure if that's any remnant of the old Holt platform or not. But yeah, this would have been the footpath leading up to Ilton Holt on the old railway. Ilton Holt was quite a short distance from the village itself, about half a mile on Chard Road, past Rabs, which is pronounced R-A-P-P-S. This is looks like it's been left notoriously for fly tipping. Doesn't look like it gets used much, this track bed or footpath that goes up to it. So I'm sure you guys can see on the camera when I'm not walking over stinging nettles. Look at that, Thatcher's Gold. Somerset zone, I believe. Yeah, just a normal tipping ground for fly tippers. As we come back out onto Chard Road, from the embankment on that side towards Taunton, there's like a lay-by here which you can park up and have a little walk onto the track bed. As you come back out onto Chard Road, I believe there was a bridge that went over this. It's now been demolished. You've got the track bed there, which is walkable on that side. On that side, you've got the track bed towards Ilminster and Chard, but it doesn't look very much accessible from here. So nothing really remains of Ilton Holt Station. So this was Ilton Holt Station. We'll now head on to the next one. So guys, this here is Ilminster Station. This is the Minster town of Ilminster in Somerset, and was the fourth station on the Taunton to Ilminster line. Sorry, Taunton to Chard line via Ilminster. So we can see the station building survives. It's now in use for a commercial property as well as the goods shed. We're facing that way back towards Taunton along the old Taunton, Ilminster and Chard line. And if we pan this way to the goods shed, we face that way towards Chard. So you can see the station site's been redeveloped for industrial use. I'm not sure if it means the station's a mix of a commercial and a private residence or both, or just a commercial. But yeah, the station approach leads to it, and I think the track bed runs right behind the station, behind there to the side, and would have gone on towards Chard, and that way towards Taunton. So this was Ilminster Station. We'll now head on to the next one. So guys, we are here at the site of Donyat Halt Station. This is the village of Donyat in Somerset and was the fifth station on the line between Taunton and Chard via Ilminster. As we can see, Donyat Halt Station survives. It's now been put into use as a nice preserved monument on the footpath between Ilminster and Chard. We're facing that way back towards Taunton along the former railway line with the bridge still there and into Donyat Cutting. And we face that way towards Chard. All this now forms part of the national cycle route and the public bridleway. So we can see we've got a nice replica sign up, unless that's actually the original sign, I think, here at Donyat Halt, along with the shelter and some nice benches which have GWR on, which of course also owns Taunton Station, but is a different company with using the same name as the original one. And we got here someone called Doreen. A statue's been made in her honour, and on the shelter is a small snippet of her story. Yeah, we'll have a quick look at it. Also up there are anti-tank ballasts, which some are still present there, as you can see in the overgrowth, and obviously the footpath leading up from the Halt to the bridge where you could cross over the railway and go into the village of Donyat. So we can see the Halt was a wooden platform design. Of course still is, but I'm talking in the past sense, before when trains were running, not as it is now. This would have been your typical countryside halt in the middle of nowhere. We've got the village of Donyat over there with its church tower dominating the surrounding skyline from the Halt, and it wasn't very far from it. We've got this nice GWR bench donated by Ilminster Town Council of Friends of Donyat. We've got the footpath going up to the bridge and down into the Halt, as well as, like I said, those anti-tank ballasts which are still there in the overgrowth. A nice brick shelter here, which would have been typical of the modern days of those times. So you would have sat in here, say, I don't know, raining or something like that, and then comes the train, you'd hear it coming this way from Chard, or coming that way from Ilminster / Taunton. One platform design. And here's Doreen sitting on a replica suitcase. We've got the nice Halt sign here, and another GWR bench. This was donated by Donyat Parish Council in July 2017. Sadly it's been marked by some local vandals, some black permanent markers and that. And there's the slope going down onto the track bed, and a nice signal pole there on the right. And yeah, that sign we saw earlier which gave a detail of this Halt. So let's check out Doreen's story quickly. So please forgive me, I'll read this to you. Doreen's story. At 11 AM on the 3rd of September 1939, the Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain announced on the wireless the dreadful words, "Britain is now at war with Germany." Immediately a long-planned German government Doreen's story, take 2. Doreen's story. At 11 AM on the 3rd of September 1939, the Prime Minister, Neville Chamberlain, announced on the wireless the dreadful words, "Britain is now at war with Germany." Immediately, a long-planned government evacuation scheme sprang into action. So we got here. My name is Doreen Ash. I lived with Mum and Dad in Downham near Bromley in Kent. I was 7.5 when war broke out. I don't remember much about that first day except it was hot and I had my gas mask and a bag of fruit. Many expected the Germans to begin bombing and gas attacks immediately. 3 million people, mostly children, were evacuated from vulnerable areas to safe places in the country or even abroad. Many like Doreen left on the day war broke out. Vulnerable areas to safe places in the country. Cut. Children were assembled at selected schools and then taken by coach or bus to a railway station and thence by train to a planned destination. Doreen's next quote. I remember a long train ride, looking out of the window and wanting my mum. She had told June Jolly, who was about 10 and lived opposite us, she must not get split up from me, and whatever happened, we had to stay together. The government said that taking in evacuees was compulsory. At reception centres, the response to give homes for bewildered and frightened children was magnificent. The evacuees had shared their share of good and bad experiences. Some found extravagant accommodation in large county homes like Chilworthy House, while others were squeezed into tiny cottages having a toilet down the garden with spiders and a hole in the sea big enough to fall in. Doreen's quote. I know now that in June's pocket was a letter from my mum addressed to whoever took me in. You can read it here, but when we sat on the long bench in the Donya schoolroom, people wanted to take June because she was tall and pretty and no one asked to take short fat me. But June stuck it out, saying little Doreen has to stay with me. We were the last two left in the room. A middle-aged childless couple, Bill and Violet Hutchings, invited June to live with them and she had her piece. Bill turned to his wife and said, I'm sure we can find room for this little one too. A few days later, Doreen's mum came to see that Doreen was billeted as she wished. She couldn't have been more delighted. Doreen and June were treated like princesses. Doreen's quote again. Thanks to Uncle Bill and Auntie Violet, I had a really lovely time in Dunyet, but in the end I was excited to go back home with my mum. And then in that photo is June in white frock with her friend June Jolly and Uncle Bill and Auntie Violet Hutchins, who took them in. The statue of Doreen was sculpted by Ian Edwards of Chard. His grandfather William Charles Garrett Billy was evacuated to Donya at the same time as Doreen. And there's a government evacuation scheme of London with her details on and the letter in question. So that's Doreen's story and how she's got a bit of history here with Donyet Holt, like many other children who were evacuated during World War II. So this was Donyet Holt. We'll now head on to the next one. So guys, this here is Chard Central Station. This served the market town of Chard in Somerset, and this was roughly where the line to Taunton terminated, and it joined up with the Chard to Chard Junction joint line. But there were services that also ran from Chard Central into Chard Junction from Taunton as well. This station had 3 platforms, so acted as a junction. So we can see the station building survives and is in use for the original cart factory shop. We're facing that way back towards Taunton and Ilminster, which is now occupied by housing. And if we pan around this way, we face that way. Oh, hang on, no, sorry, tell a lie. Sorry, we're facing that way towards Ilminster and Taunton. And we face that way towards Chard Junction. Apologies, I was just trying to get my geography right then. And yeah, unlike the original station here at Chard, which was Chard Town, this is the only one to still survive in the town. The other one was the original station, closed in 1917 to passengers when this took over passenger operations. The original station continued to be used as a goods depot until 1961, until the lines through Chard were closed, and that site has since been demolished. Chard Central is the only one to remain as a retail premises. So this was Chard Central Station. We'll now head on and find the original Chard Town Station, and then we'll finish at Chard Junction.